Greetings, I'm Karshan, and today we're going to be playing Soul Blazer. One of the first, if not the first, of the Quintet games, made in 1992, in the Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, and Terranigma set. Wise men tell a tale late at night of a great king destroyed by the temptation of evil. Frail Empire, as it was called in those days, was ruled by a powerful man, King Madrid. King Magrid? It seemed most people thought the king was a fair and kind ruler. There were some, however, who felt the king himself was ruled by greed. One day, the king happened to overhear the two guards talking about a man named Dr. Leo. Dr. Leo was considered by all to be a great inventor and a genius. King stayed up many nights wondering how he could use this great inventor to make him even more wealthy. All of a sudden, the king had an idea. He ordered his guards to capture Dr. Leo and bring him to the castle at once. Soon, Dr. Leo was brought to the castle. The king confined him in a small room and ordered him to invent a machine that would summon the king of evil, Death Toll. Dr. Leo finally completed the machine. The king instantly called upon Death Toll, hoping they might strike a deal. After many days, the deal was complete. The king would bring Death Toll all living creatures, and in return, Death Toll would give him a gold piece for each. One by one, all living creatures began to disappear. Soon, the world was completely empty. Two people were watching this catastrophe, the Master and you, his follower. The king was very foolish to be tempted by evil. However, I will give him another chance. You must go down to Earth and revive the world, the Master said. An array of light, you descended to Earth, a warrior sent to revive the living and punish evil, a Soul Blazer. So that's our backstory. Do I even really need to go into how stupid the king seems to be? A voice came from above. My follower, since you will be able to speak with all living things, you should have a name. Please choose a name for yourself. I'm just gonna go with one of my standard names. Malik. Malik. What an interesting name. Alright, go and save the world for all creatures. Alright, I need my sword. Receive Sword of Light. Alright. Alright, so one of the first things you can probably notice is that there is no knockback, and the invincibility frames are pretty slight. I used to live up in the sky, just like you. Now I am living on Earth, away from the Master. All the creatures that have been captured by Death Toll are sealed away in monster lairs. Just as you have set me free, you must free everyone. Even the release of a small tree or creature, they will aid you in your quest. Here, take this. Malik received the Flame Ball Magic. Now I will join you. I am a magician, so I can use all types of magic. Use my skill to help you. Remember this, I need gems in order to use magic. When you set me free, the monsters left some small spheres of gold. This is what a gem looks like. Alright, let's work together to revive this world. Must go to the Grass Valley Shrine. So that floating ball is our spirit. We can cast magic through him, not through ourselves. So any spell cast, will be cast from him. Malik heard a small voice. There are many creatures being held in the underground castle. If you can release those creatures, the village will be reconstructed. The magic will fire in the direction that you were facing. but it will fire from the soul. Also, what I'm doing right here is called by the game to be crab walking. It allows you to basically move as you will, while remaining facing a single direction. Also, the sword held out in front of you will deal damage. It will deal the minimum damage that you can deal to the enemies. Malik released an old woman. You hear a sigh coming from inside the house. Alright. Come on. And let me actually equip my magic. Alright. There we go. I'm a little bit slow with this, but there. Medicinal herb. Which will work just by equipping. Basically, when my health runs out, I'll get... Wow. Yeah. As you can see, there's like next to no knockback. So... There we go. Heard a faint voice coming from the jewel in the corner. Alright, come over here. There. Give you some advice. Don't forget to equip the things you wish to use, or they will not work. Malik received XP. No, I don't want to leave. One important thing about this game is that dying has no repercussions. Dying effectively has no repercussions whatsoever. And no, I did not just die, I just hit 0 and then, my herb triggered. There we go. There. Release tool shop owner. Okay. Just go kill everything. Oops. Found 12 gems. The tool shop owner will give me a healing herb whenever I don't have one and come and talk to her. As you can see, I also have the effect whenever I'm crab walking of pulling gems to me. Alright. There. Being a little bit uncautious about how I do things. Malik released Tulip. Malik began to hear a small voice. There once was a watermill here before the village was destroyed. I hear there is a man in the mill who runs the elevator in the underground castle. Yeah, which is important, because we can't go further on without the mill. Oops. just took something in the face. Took a magic bullet to the face. Malik released the bridge guard. And his bridge. Because if you didn't release his bridge with him, well, he would fall in the water. Alright. I hate these flies. I hate you even more. Alright. There we go. Hey, you level up, which gives you full health back. Receive Dream Rod. There we go. Now I don't actually have to deal with those monsters when I get to them. Damn. They keep moving on me. Oops. Sigh. There we go. Trigger. Malik released Ivy, so I can climb down. Just stand here in the corner. That leads back to the way I came. Which is a good thing, considering that I'm about to run out of space over here. Run out of places to go. Malik released the Watermill Keeper. A man's voice came from inside the watermill. Darn it! This stupid wheel! It's so hard to turn. Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to be trying to hand turn a water wheel. That's just me. I just thought that, you know, water wheels were supposed to be turned by water, not by hand. Alright, let's get out of here. And now we've got people to talk to. Granted, not that many, but we've got people to talk to. Alright, to the Tulip. There once was a watermill here before the village was destroyed. I hear there is a man in the mill who runs the elevator in the underground castle. He just says the same thing as before. My husband used to be the village chief. One day he suddenly disappeared along with the other villagers. I feel so lonely. How about being one of my children? Really? I will call you Malik from now on. Use the second floor as your own room. I don't know if that actually does anything. I've never tried. Alright. How may I help you? Oh, you are the one who released me. Take whatever you need from my store. I only have medicinal herbs, though. Malik received medical herb. I am the guard of the bridge. Guess it is not really necessary to guard such a small bridge. Please pass. Yeah, there's like 4 paces for whatever. Rotating this wheel will move the elevator in the underground castle. I am too weak to turn this wheel. Will you do it for me? I guess this is the wheel. Will you try to turn it? Malik turned the wheel. As the wheel started to turn, power was transmitted to the underground castle. I guess it's not really that you're turning the wheel so much that you're basically triggering it into gear. At least that's the only thing I can imagine. Iron armor. And 50 gems. Watching over the world. Please take this. Malik received XP. XP gifts. Okay. At that point, I need to go back down there, because I've got the water wheel elevator moving, so I can go deeper into the dungeon. I need to go this way. Yes. And as you can see, there are occasional enemy spawns that basically any enemy that exists without a monster spawner will always spawn again. Malik released an old man. That old man's the one who tells you how to crab walk. These things just wander. It's really kind of annoying. One more. There we go. Trigger that. Malik released a goat. And his pen. Okay. Up here. There. Okay, guess I killed more of those than I thought I did. Malik released Tulip. Which, unfortunately, re-triggers the torches. Malik released Lisa. You hear some light snoring coming from inside the house. She's important. She's actually very important, even though we only really see her a little bit. Okay. Oops. There we go. I figure I've got the gems, I might as well spend them. Malik released an architect. And a stairway. I kind of wonder if they can see you when you unlock them and you're kind of standing across from them. Because one of them sort of implies it. Oh, come on. There. This should be the appropriate place to stand. It's almost not really the appropriate place to stand. As you can see, hitboxes are a little odd in this game. Alright. Now I stand over here and wait for all of them to spawn in. Okay. And now, boom. Now wait for these guys to spawn in. And boom. And then wait for these guys to spawn in. And boom. And a level. Which is pretty convenient. Malik released a goat. So something that I recently found out that I kind of find very interesting is that speedrunners use the crab walking mechanic and the fact that you can actually deal damage with your sword held out like that to get around level requirements for swords. Because you can hold a sword out, but you can't swing it if you're under-leveled. Basically, if you don't meet the level requirement for the sword. But you can still hold it out, which means you can still deal damage with it. You just can't swing it. So if you walk around carefully with the sword held out that way, which I kind of find interesting. There's a lot of speedrunning tricks that I find really interesting, but I never really think about or use, nor do I have practice in any of them. Although not only will you see me use the crab walking hold your sword out trick, a lot more than I previously ever did in this game whenever I played it as a kid. But there we go. Just gotta wait for it. Yeah, I mean, not only will I be using the crab walking trick, but I saw one of the tricks for defeating the first boss. That I'm going to attempt to use, because I kind of thought it was really cool. Okay, that's a shortcut back. That's a bunch of monsters we can't get to. I kinda hate these torches a lot. Also, conveyor belts. I despise conveyor belts. And these torches. Really hate the torches. Okay. Released an old man. So there's the old man up on the hill. Hear a man screaming inside the house. Ah! A ghost! A ghost! Alright. Kill the torches. Oops. It doesn't really matter, because as you can see, the enemies are mostly only dealing 1 point of damage to me, but many monsters cannot be defeated with that sword. Be able to save those creatures once you return with the correct sword. Would you like to return to Grass Valley? Go back. So there's nothing else for me down here at the moment. So let's go see who we've awoken. Dream Rod you possess is a magical stick that enables you to look into dreams. Equip this stick when you wish to speak with someone who is sleeping. That's pretty important. We use it a lot. Hey, you look like you would be good at crab walking. Try it. Don't know how? Just walk while pressing either L or R button. Yeah, it's either button. And basically you can walk while, well, you've seen me use it. You can walk in any direction. Alright, so I need medicinal herb. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm helping my mother. Would you like to buy some goat's food? You want to know how much it costs? Well, how about $1 billion plus tax? Daddy! I'm sorry. I'll give it to you for free. Malak received a bag of goat's food. Alright. You walk past him. I wonder why people live in such small houses. Can you believe the village chief was swallowed up in one of those paintings in the house in the hill? Don't know how that connects with the first thing he says, but... Oh, you have some food from the tool shop. Promise to tell you a secret if you will give me the food. Thank you. I'll tell you a secret. If you wish to get inside the painting, you must equip an item which used to belong to the painter and touch the painting. I have other things to tend to, so I will see you later. And there goes a goat with a mission. Specifically, the mission to go to the tool shop and steal all his food. It's probably why the kid was trying to rip you off, because, well, you know. Alright, dream rod. I'll place the dream rod on the girl's head. Daddy, where are you? So trigger this, which changed that, and you will notice, Lisa, you must tell everything that you know to the person in front of you. You also need my paintbrush to continue on. Daddy, is that you? Where are you, Daddy? I miss you so much. There was no answer. You'll notice that this looks very familiar. As in, this looks exactly like the dungeon we just left. Who are you? Why am I here? Apparently, they have dreams of the dungeons. Oh my, who are you? Get out of my house. She literally says nothing else until you leave. Wait, I'm sorry for yelling at you. Please come back and listen to my story. I had a very strange dream. It was about my father and someone who looked just like you. My father told me to give his paintbrush to you, and tell you all I know. Brush is all I have left for my father. I hid it somewhere. When you come back to me with that brush, I will tell you all I know. Alright, so the honest truth is, you need to go back to exactly where the dream was. Because that treasure chest that you could see but never reach, you can now reach. Luckily, it's not that deep in. So, let's just go and get it. Oops. Just keep taking damage. See? Things have changed now. And Leo's brush, which is important to get into the boss area. And boom! Malak released an old man. There we go. And you gain 1 HP back. Alright, now we are actually done with this segment of the dungeon. There is literally nothing else in here, from what I recall. We've killed all of the monster lairs and unlocked all of the people from here, all of the secret passages. Then again, it is just the entry, so since losing my wife to an illness, I had noticed a goat hanging around my place. So lonely, I decided to keep the goat as a pet. Well, I guess that's something. We'll need to unlock his... Do I have... Yeah, okay. I need to equip that so I can go into the painting. Let's go talk with her. Oh, you have found my father's paintbrush. And I'll tell you what I know. One day, as I returned from shopping, I found a note. Lisa pulled out the note and began to read. Lisa, I won't be able to see you for a while. If you have any problems, please see the village chief. Take care of your friends, Turbo the dog, Lou the dolphin, Gnome the snail, and Marie the doll. The animals mentioned in the letter were once Father's pets. I don't understand what he is trying to say, though. I know you're a complete stranger. Will you please search for my father? I believe that almost all of those animals show up in either Gaia or Terranigma. Whoops. I've already been there. I know Turbo the dog does show up alive. Or at least a Turbo the dog. My name is Gaudi. I am an architect. Built all the houses in this town. Come back later. I will show you something. I think you actually have to fully unlock the town in order to get him. This was painted by Dr. Leo. A strange face has appeared. It's terrifying. Malik is dragged into the painting. If you don't attack that, if you don't touch that painting with the brush equipped, it does say that the chief's face appears in the painting. So, alright, unlock that, change that. Malik released Tulip. Oops. Alright. Yeah, it's pretty easy to accidentally stand inside a hitbox from a monster. Okay. Before I make a very big mistake, let's equip that. Because I'm not very good at fighting these things. As you can see. There we go. Also, they have a lot of health. A lot more health than what I'm perhaps used to. Okay. Well, there goes all my gems. Because that is the only penalty for death. Voice came from above. Do not rush, but be patient. You must continue making steady progress. Yeah, that's the only penalty for death, is losing all of your gems. And of course having to go backtrack through. But at the same time, anything unlocked stays unlocked. So it's a very forgiving game. But that being said, I believe that I'm going to call this video here. Picture of the village chief in the painting. He appears to be sad. Yeah. I believe I will call this here as I go into the painting. And I will see you next time. Till then.